I can't wait to be living in one of these future cities.
Yeah,
It's going to be fun.
It'd be very interesting.
Yeah.
But
But
what is going to happen to all the people who run the infrastructure now?
yeah, that's probably a very big problem.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of people. That's a lot of people.
I mean, if you think about things like Uber drivers, taxi drivers,
Well, that's...
HGV goods drivers.
Yeah.
So automation is essentially, and has been for a long time, slowly taking over people's jobs.
Mm-hmm.
So back to the Industrial Revolution, factories didn't run with like robotics and things and looms and all this type of stuff. I think you told me something about...
Yeah, although when like mechanical looms started becoming a thing in factories, people would like burn them. There were like protest groups going in and smashing them up and burning them because it's like, you're taking our jobs and all that stuff. You know, and you can see why people get angry. People are losing jobs, and what it led to was a kind of restructuring of the way that society worked back then.
Yeah, I mean, we invested heavily in primary education, and everyone became, they're employed in sort of tertiary type.
There was less of
sectors.
A manual workforce.
Exactly.
And like a education, different types of education at a younger age, which meant people were going into different types of professions.
Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, it's hard to see how that kind of thing could translate in work now, but something is going to have to happen.
Well, this is the thing, that we are going to start losing a lot more jobs again, as we did through the Industrial Revolution. This is like the autonomy revolution or whatever, where technology is doing its own thing. You can only educate people to a certain level.
Yeah.
You can't... There may be a ceiling to this where genuinely it's not like we restructure society and we get more jobs for people.
Like, right, okay.
We're essentially moving, if we think to the end point, the sort of sovereign AI singularity, where we're moving to a point where there are no jobs. People don't do jobs.
Yeah.
And that end point might be okay.
It might be great. That
no one has
sounds awesome.
Jobs.
It's like a utopia.
You just do what you want.
Just do what you want.
If the AI doesn't kill
everything,
us,
there's no money. There's no scarce. It's a post-scarcity society.
Yeah.
So that's fine.
Provided the AI doesn't go mental.
Yeah.
But so provided we have this nice AI, one that's aligned with our goals, like the stuff we talked about last time.
Yeah.
You know that's fine. But the transition period is potentially quite traumatic.
Yeah. Very big changes in society. That means a lot of people are going to be out of work, and I mean this is going to be happening soon.
Oh yeah. So there are, if you think about the different jobs that are available, some of them are more likely to be taken over by autonomous systems sooner than others.
Yeah.
So I said earlier, HGV goods drivers, things that are related to. We've just been talking about autonomous cars a lot.
Yeah.
I think about all the different drivers who run those things now: Uber drivers, taxi drivers, HGV goods drivers. Mm-hmm. Those jobs are it's not going to be long until they are not professions.
Yeah.
In the Western world.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, unless there is a ban on autonomous vehicles from companies using autonomous vehicles, which won't happen because
even if it does happen, that's not going to last.
No,
because the commercial benefits of it are just so massive.
Yes,
that the capitalism will always
it's a free market.
Yeah,
it's essentially a free market. So bus drivers as well, train drivers maybe.
Yeah. Sure.
Those jobs, I don't know, 10 years time may not exist.
Yeah, I mean that's plausible. That's definitely plausible timescale.
So don't go into those jobs.
Yeah.
And no joke. Seriously, people need to be thinking about that.
Yeah,
for their career
absolutely.
path.
Yeah, absolutely. But then it's
what
not
do you
just
do
a case.
with
What do you do with those people? It's not just a case of everybody gets different jobs because that doesn't really work.
Because some of those jobs are being automated.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, as you were saying, like this is constantly going to be eroding away at jobs, and eventually, I mean, basically, you always see people saying, "Oh, my job's probably safe," or if you want to stay in a job, do this kind of thing. But I mean, ultimately, nothing is really safe. Even stuff that's thought to be like technically challenging, eventually will be. Yeah. Or like science and medicine and engineering and those kind of things will also all eventually be done by machines.
If yes, that seems to be the case. If you think the singularity, as seemingly a lot of people do who are experts in AI, is a thing that's going to happen, then I mean it's eventually there will be no jobs. There's nothing for humans to do.
There's no reason to suspect that there's anything that we do that couldn't be done better and more efficiently
by specialized machines,
yeah.
Or a general thing that builds specialized machines to do them.
Yeah.
So what do you think's most safe?
I mean,
you imagine if you think about,
there's things that are going to be more safe for a long time.
Yeah.
I guess like science jobs maybe and medical stuff maybe. Slightly, in the medium term, probably more safe. Being the people who actually design the systems that do everything is probably going to be
right up there.
Right up there.
Yeah, I mean that's going to be one of the last things to go. You need to get to a point where machines are better at designing themselves, the singularity, to a point where people who build AIs, who build deep learning algorithms, who build autonomous vehicles, are no longer needed to improve them or maintain them. That's like borderline the singularity world. There's potentially an even higher level though.
There is, weirdly.
Maybe. I think so.
I think there's always going to be, as long as we're still people, recognizably humans in the way that we are now, and haven't just like gone into some weird like merged kind of meta consciousness thing or whatever.
Yeah, sublimed.
There's always going to be like a need or a demand to watch other humans and their creativity. Interact with people. So it might be that the sort of entertainment industry is one of the last things that's left to be automated. Which seems a bit bizarre because it doesn't seem like it's needed for society, really, in the same way that like
medicine is,
or even like
taxi drivers. It's just about enjoying. Yeah, like making your life happier, essentially.
Yeah.
But that might be the last thing that is taken over by machines, because to do that, you essentially have to replicate human human behavior in order to connect to it. I mean, maybe that's not actually that far away, but
it's probably possible. But even if that did exist,
would you still want real humans? Would there still be a demand?
There might still be a market.
So for music written by computers. I mean, to be honest, that's something that might be maybe of the entertainment industry things. Music might be one of the things that gets cut out earlier.
First, yeah.
Because they're able to, because it's very mathematical and you might be able to very specifically target people's interest in things with music, algorithms and different things, and write music for them. It seems a bit nebulous.
I do think that there'll be
inevitably going to happen.
The only reason I was sort of hesitating there is because I think that if you're thinking, there might be like amazing like AI musicians or something like pumping out music, which is absolutely amazing. But there's surely still going to be people also doing that.
Yeah.
And unless suddenly like human music just
is shit in comparison.
Shit. Yeah. So suddenly like the AIs have opened the world into this new like suddenly we've realised what music could be.
Yeah.
And all human music suddenly just seems like two-dimensional and boring and dull. Unless that's the case, which maybe it is. Then maybe there's always going to be sort of a market, sort of a niche for people making music or films or
making films,
painting.
Exactly.
Whatever.
YouTube videos.
Making YouTube videos. Yeah, exactly.
With future-proofing.
This is our long game. This is what we're doing.
I mean, I think that's a good point. It's weird to think about in a post-singularity world, maybe that we don't even know if we're interacting with humans or non-humans type situation you could get into.
Yeah.
Where it is able, these AIs and the automated systems that are involved are able to produce things that are as good as humans in every sector. That's maybe that is inevitable.
Yeah.
But it's going to be that's going to be one of the last things to go, I think.
Yeah.
Potentially even before the machines are able to essentially improve themselves, improve their own algorithms and stuff.
Yeah, maybe.
They need to probably get to that point to be good enough to copy and be as good at interacting and empathizing and, providing social norms for humans and social, bonding and things.
And that's the thing. You can... when you think about this,
could you replace your friends with machines or your family with machines? That seems like a very something that is way down the road.
Yes, and it obviously at the moment it doesn't seem like
doesn't really make sense almost at the moment.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, and it also doesn't seem like it's something that we should be desiring at all.
Like
most people would flinch at the
of course,
recoil from that.
But imagine a world where the AI is able to, it knows, you know, your I don't know, someone's died in your family.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, you don't need to know that. It knows that they physically died, but it's generated like a perfect digital thing. You never know, and maybe they never really do die because they've become like a digital whatever, and you don't really, and then you just carry on.
Yeah,
It's all kind of not really the biology anymore. So you maybe get into a world where that makes more sense then, but obviously it sounds horrible to like you go home and you're like, you know, your mum and dad are like hello and like sort of dodging like robot.
No, it wouldn't be like that though, would it?
No, you wouldn't even know.
You wouldn't know. The thing. They'd be perfect simulations.
We're back to post singularity.
Yeah, we are. Yeah. but yeah, I mean, again, it's really hard to project into that. But I kind of imagine this world like say a utopia that's been enabled through automation, that there'd still be, you know, you'd still be able to like watch like talk shows or like, I don't know, like movies and stuff with actual humans.
And people wanted, sometimes there's a desire for people to want to participate in.
Do you think like celebrity will go away, for example? Like that's what
no,
I'm kind
because
of
I think there's a need for
like
that. But the point, yes, but the point is that
fundamentally part of humans.
A post-singularity world would not require a human involvement in creating a celebrity.
Yeah, that's very true.
Is the only thing.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah. Yeah. So maybe even that is not.
It might be that humans have a desire to kind of look up to people and have like people to sort of nucleate and around and kind of identify with and all that. It's just that that may also all be able to be handled automatically by some kind of super advanced AI. But that seems like one of the last things that's going to be automated.
Yeah, surely. So so nothing is safe basically from automation.
Probably not. And there's a traumatic period between, somewhat traumatic period. They're going to have a fundamental restructuring of how the economy works, of how society runs, everything. And
it could be, you know, it could be bad for a while.
It's one of those things where it's sort of the night is darkest before the dawn, kind of like it's going to get bad and then it's going to be a lot better. I
mean, in the same way that you had protest groups burning looms in the Industrial Revolution, you might have, you know, stuff like that kicking off. When I've read figures of people saying that like 47% of jobs in the US are going to be done or automated by some date that's not that far away. I can't remember the numbers.
Yeah.
But it's things like that. 47% is half of the population.
What the hell do? You can't just make up new jobs.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we did make up.
Put everyone on a welfare state or something, but then that doesn't work either, because the other half of the population are basically just paying for them to do nothing.
And then there's tensions and whatnot.
Yeah. It's gonna be a weird time.
Yeah.
Politics is going to have to deal with this it demands a restructuring, a rethinking of the way society works, and I certainly don't have the answers.
No, neither do I.